for the Senate bill, SB 710. My sense is that although there are some serious problems with the legislation, there are ways that it could be modified so that it would be amenable to the teachers, to many community leaders, and also to the elected board. I'd leave that open for discussion to see if they agree, but I sense that they might agree with some of what I'm suggesting. One of the things I did, Judge Rhodes, is I can't hear.
Don't touch it.
Any better, or is there a different microphone?
No, Thomas, it's not good. Come on.
I will.
Would you come to the stage? Come to the stage. You
Get another mic. 8 minutes.
Thank you again, President Davis. Is this microphone on?
No. Okay, tell you no time.
I'll try this one. Okay, great. I'll wait a moment. Looks like Judge Rhodes is busy.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks again, President Davis. Thank you also, Judge Rhodes, for allowing me a moment. I think I want to make some suggestions that I think would allow there to be a great consensus around SB 710. One that many rank and file teachers would support, many community members would support, and I'm guessing many elected board members would support as well. One of the things that I think is problematic to a lot of people in the community are certain elements of the proposal for the Detroit Education Commission. Yeah. I have the fortune of knowing board members, not only in Detroit, but many other elected boards across the state as well. And I posed the question to them, how restricted would they feel if some of the provisions that are built into the DEC that impact elected boards were to impact their decision-making process? And they explained that the ability to open schools is one of the most crucial powers that they have, because they need to be responsive, especially in today's market, to the competition from charters. If they were to lose that power, they feel like they would lose a lot of essential powers that govern their ability to control the purse strings of the district's finances. And controlling the purse strings is absolutely essential for a board to govern, and therefore to be held accountable by the public as well. So that's a key ingredient here, is if too many powers are pulled away from the elected board, the one that governs the school district and the schools, not the debt. If too many powers are pulled away to other bodies, then the board cannot really be held accountable by the electorate. The board needs to have all of the powers that the board has in Bloomfield Hills, where the board is successful, in Ferndale, where the board has really been able to turn things around in recent years, and we could name a lot of other districts. Having the complete picture, the complete power over the purse strings is essential. That is why there is significant resistance to the idea of the DEC. I think everyone likes the idea of controlling charter schools, but the powers that the DEC would put over the elected board could be very constraining for the elected board. The same goes for the Financial Review Commission, depending on how interventionist it was. If it was interventionist, and it certainly has the power to do that, then that would also restrict the powers of an elected board. Finally, I want to just take one last minute. Something that really needs to be emphasized is, Judge Rhodes, you have before you the elected board. As you now know, this elected board is the expression of the electoral will of the voters of Detroit, the same one that is credited with electing Mayor Duggan and others, right? And the folks here, 4 of the members seated before you, have terms that run through January 2019. I don't understand why they should be dispossessed or why their power and authority should be moved over a debt that the state almost exclusively created and they did not create. This board has been vigilant for years, and I shared some of that with you the other night, has been vigilant in, just like the community members and the city council members in Flint, in watchdogging a lot of what was happening. And had we listened to them during the unfolding of that crisis, it might have been prevented altogether or certainly stopped a lot earlier. The same thing has happened with this board. I have watched vigilantly for the last 4 years as this group has met without any pay, oftentimes being trashed in the media, and they have continued to meet and have been there to call out excesses that they saw. For example, the $40 million contract with Houghton Mifflin Harcourt that Barbara Bird Bennett, who has now confessed to a felony in Chicago for similar behavior, engaged in with Robert Bob. That was her immediate past employer. She was superintendent in residence. They called that out. They very early on called out many of the excesses of the EAA's treatment of students in classrooms, their subjection to a computer-based curriculum that wasn't ready when it was delivered to the schools and was not effective. And we had research both before and after that documented that. So this is all to say that the elected board in its entirety, even the 4 who don't have terms going through 2019, have terms that run through 2017. They would be up for election in November, and it's appropriate that they be up for election in November. Those are the pieces that I think, if they were included, could make a lot of bodies amenable to passage of SB 710. Otherwise, you have the situation where there is resistance to 710 that comes both from DeVos money and, ironically, many of the people who are deeply concerned and have been closely following the situation. And these people, I hope you know, rank and file teachers, elected board members, community leaders, really have been paying attention and really do have the best interests of the children at heart. Thank you.
Thank you. I sense, sir, that you have more you'd like to say to me. I'd like to offer you the opportunity to sit with me and perhaps some people who are in a better position to deal with SB 710 than I am to discuss what your concerns are, because you've obviously thought very deeply about this, you're very articulate about it, and it's a viewpoint that the people in Lansing need to hear, and I'd like to facilitate.
I'd appreciate that. I would want to bring someone who I admire greatly and who I consider an elder and really my mother, Mama Helen Moore, with me.
Thank you, sir, because I was going to make the same offer to her too, but you want to come together, that's fine.
Thank you very much.
Remember, Rep. Hawkins has a question.
Thank you for coming, and thank the public, thank the media for coming, but just to let you know
Pull the microphone, Luke.
that everyone on this board are certified, Michigan certified, trained board members. Some of us are on a master level, so I just want the public to know that. Thank you.
We know you have to leave, or do you have a few more minutes you want to go?
I do need to go, but I extend again to you my offer to meet with you and...
Okay, as of right now, as we speak, the children of Detroit are being poisoned with lead copper in their schools. If you're not prepared to
You are
provide
not
money
ordered,
to
please.
fix the pipes right now, you need to resign, because this would not happen under an election power.
Mr. Chairman, I must say this before he leaves. Judge Rhodes.
Mr. Chair, I do need to go.
Have you got 2 minutes? Have you got 2 minutes?
I'll be back at any meeting where you summon me to.
This is important that it goes on the record.
Okay,
I'll be back at any meeting that
we appreciate your coming, and we'll look forward to...
All right, you all missing an opportunity. I wanted to go on the record. You saw me delivering that package to Emergency Manager Judge Rhodes. During the last few months, we have had investigations going on by our researchers on all the contracts that have been before this Board of Education. not you, but the administration.
Microphone.
Is it on? Can you hear me? I wanted you to see me deliver that so that he has been saying that he really cares about our children and that it's all about the children. Our researchers have found all kinds of criminal acts by the corporations that have done business with the Board of Education while they were under the emergency manager. In that report, it says it's on, but in that report, it tells all the corporations for the years that you've been talking about forensic audit. All of those corporations have been researched by our researchers. I will not tell you who the researcher is, but I have given that report to our attorney who's sitting right next to me, and I want the man who says that he's concerned about the children to look at that report. It is deeper than the 15 administrators and the principals. It is into how they work across the country with black and brown school districts, how they have stolen our money, who they are, and how they did it is in the report that I just handed to Judge Rhodes. I want you all to be aware of that, so that if anything happens to me, our lawyer has the copy of it. It's very deep. Barbara Bird Bennett is included. All the corporations that we were concerned about are included, and how they work across the country to take money from black and brown school districts, and how they deny our children a quality education. The dots are in that report that he has. If he goes to the FBI with it, like he should, then we will know that he is sincere. If he does nothing about it and plays it down, then we have another alternative. We have a court case that it will be included in, and we will also take that report to the FBI all the way up to the Justice Department. You talk about a forensic audit. It tells the story of the corruption and the bribery that's been going on for years between these corporations that have traveled across this United States to destroy black and brown school system. It is very clear. You will not have a copy of it. I want to see what he's going to do. Our attorney has a copy, and I have a copy, and you will not know who the researcher is. We're going to keep that a secret. So if it moves forward from this day forward, after he reads it, then we will know the sincerity of this man that is the emergency manager. I rest my case.
The thing that Helen reminds us is that we've all got to stand up. These microphones, we need one thing, buy some new equipment around here. Microphones don't work half the time. Still not working. Check.
Test it out. Can you hear me?
All of that.
Can you hear me?
Check.
All of it.
Testing. In any event,